TCP/IP model. This TCP/IP model was designed and developed by Department of Defense in 1960s and is based on standard protocols. Protocols means rules and regulation. Whenever two parties, say source and destination, this party needs to talk or communicate, then there has to be certain sets of rules and regulation, and these are, in network terminology, we call it as protocols. This TCP/IP stands for Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. And this TCP/IP model is a concise version, smaller version, compact version of the OSI model. This was ISO OSI model. International Organization for Standardization. This was ISO OSI model. ISO OSI model consists of 7 layers: APST NDP. Application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. Now this TCP/IP layer has 4 layers. It has 4 layers. These layers are application, presentation, and session. They are combined to make application layer. Now this transmission layer, this transport layer is transport layer. Network layer is called as internet layer now. And data link and physical layer are combined as link layer. So ultimately this link layer is the physical layer only. Let me tell you again. Now TCP/IP layer has application layer, host to host or transport layer, internet layer, network access or link layer. First layer is network access layer. So this layer corresponds to the combination of, as I just indicated, the data link layer plus the physical layer, the lowest level of layer, the physical layer of the OSI model. So the protocols present in this layer allows actually the physical transmission of data, bit byte transmission. What are the functions of network layer? First is the framing, adding physical address header to the message, transmission of bits over connecting medium. As I said, it is physical medium, actual transformation of bit is taking place. The flow control, the error control, also the access control. This is the IP frame, and here we have the Ethernet address. It is of 14 bytes. Then we have Ethernet data array, that is the actual content. Maximum size is 1500 bytes. This is the maximum transmission unit, along with some checksum. Checksum is for the error control. This is 4 bytes. Second layer is internet layer, and this layer is parallel to the functions of what happened in OSI's network layer, and this defines the protocols, as I said, rules and regulation, which are responsible for the logical or actual transmission. Actual transmission means bit by bit transmission is physical, but the logical transmission of data over the entire network is the responsibility of the internet layer. What are the functions of this internet layer? Forming of framing packets. Framing is different. So framing of packets, and then adding logical address. This is the IP address. Every machine, every gadget has some IP address on the network. So adding the logical address, this is the IP address. Header to the packet is the function of internet layer, along with the routing. Routing has come from route, and route is the path. That is, if something has to reach here, say from this source to destination, what is the route? This is the route, and this routing is done here. So we have this IP frame, IP header, we have IP address 20 bytes, and this is the IP data array. The protocol which are residing at the internet layer is IP, and this IP stands for Internet Protocol, and this is responsible for delivering the packets, the message content, along with a, you can say, cover. So it's a packet, the way you get packet delivered at your house like this. So delivering packets from the source host to the destination host. How? By looking at the IP addresses, unique addresses in the packet header. So packet header has an IP address. This is how it is decided from which is the source and where the destination is. And IP has 2 versions now, IP version 4 and IP version 6. This IP version 4 is one that most of the websites are currently using. So this can go up to 4 billion, right? We'll talk about that in the later discussion. But see, Indian population is around 1.35 billion. 1.39 and 1.4 billion around is Chinese population. So this 4 billion is less. That is how IPv6 has come. IPv6 is growing as the number of IPv4 addresses, they are limited because the number of users are increasing. Previously it was not anticipated like this, that the internet or everyone has gadget with separate IP numbers, etc. Transport layer, and this is analogous to the transport layer of the OSI model. What is the responsibility? The end-to-end communication and error-free delivery of the data. So the responsibilities of transport layer includes segmentation and reassembly. That is, if this is the content, it is segmented, and when it reaches here, say this is D1, D2, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. So it should come like this only, D1, D2 till D5. So first is the segmentation, and then the reassembly, again the way it was supposed to be there. Then the process to process communication is the responsibility of transport layer, and selecting the way of communication also, that is whether it is communication oriented or communication less. So it adds, now IP was already there, now it adds one more thing, which is the port number header to the message. So this is the TCP frame. We have TCP header, which is the port number 20 bytes, and TCP data array. So this transport layer, the protocols which are in this transport layer are two, TCP and UDP. Now TCP, it is also known to provide reliable. This is a reliable and error-free communication between end-to-end system. So the system, say N1 and N2, this has to have a connection. So this is a connection-oriented protocol. This is a connection-oriented protocol. That is why it has reliable and error-free communication. And also the reliability is ensured by the acknowledgement feature. So it also has the acknowledgement feature, that is the destination when it gets, it acknowledges and controls the flow of the data through the flow control mechanism. As I just suggested, that is D1 to D5, it has to reach by any way, but it has to come to the destination and reassemble in the form of D1 to D5 only. The user datagram protocol UDP, this is a connection-less protocol. That means end-to-end connection is not required. We don't need to have any proper connection. So it's a go-to protocol. If the application does not require reliable transport like the voice or sometimes video call, we don't need the reliability. We need it to be fast. So this is a cost effective because this error control mechanism and the feedback mechanism or acknowledgement mechanism is there. Unlike TCP, as I just suggested, which is actually the connection oriented, UDP is connectionless. Coming to application layer. Now you have a PC or a computer or a laptop, some application is running. This application is what? You have a browser, say Chrome or whatever, which you use. So you put this HTTP here, then colon and the site address. This HTTP is what? So this is the application layer. This layer performs the function of top three layers of OSI layer, which was earlier application, presentation, and session layer. It is responsible for node-to-node communication and controls the user interface, as I just suggested you, user interface specification. Some of the protocols which are present in this is HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, Telnet, and SMTP. What are the responsibility of application layer? Encryption. Encryption means putting secrecy, trying to make it look something else, so that if there is someone in between, that is a middleman, should not get it, or even if he or she get it, they will not be able to decrypt it. Compression. If the size is more, making it small. It also includes the software used for communication and representation of message. This is the application data unit, 1460 byte maximum. What are the protocols in this application layer? HTTP, FTP, Telnet, and SMTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This is used by World Wide Web, WWW, to manage communication between web browser and servers. Also HTTPS is for secure. FTP is for file transfer. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. These are set of rules used for actual file transmission over a network. Telnet is for remote login. If there is a system, say in India or you have in say America, you want to remote login, want to use the desktop, Telnet. SMTP is simple mail transfer protocol. And all the mailing system, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, the set of rules that are used by mailing system, SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol.